He saw his buddy Barron do it earlier. He goes, you know what, we're just going to keep this kind of a local affair. He dropped another big score. But watch out, Kanoe Igarashi grabs his rail, in danger, comes out with the spit. So the training already looking like it's paying off. Kanoe Igarashi says he is possessed by a dream. Preparation is done. It's time to lock in. It looks like he's locked that one up.
Wow.
Rosie.
He's an old man, but he's in like a 35-year-old body. You know, he's kept himself in good shape. Here we go, Kipes.
Romo, Jack Robinson driving through and comes out easily. And if Slater needed any motivation, there you go, Jack Robinson. Jack Robinson, wave number 3 again, and the backup. How did he do that? Jack Robinson, start with a 9.17.
It's also referred to as Bitcoin Beach because you can use Bitcoin for anything you want down there. Hold up. Wow. There we go. That's exactly what we needed to wake this crowd up from a quick nap.
More waves hitting the reef right behind him. Let's take a look at Jordy Smith. Big drop. Pulls up in. Let's go the rail. And comes through.
Wow. I'll give that a little golf clap.
Yeah, that was good. That's what he was looking for, right? I mean, this morning he really, you could tell that he was searching for something, and that right there was probably what he'd been looking for in that opening round. He's wearing that confidence, though. I mean, there's that body language that you can just read so well.
That's exactly what the judges want to see. They want to doubt you. Here we go. Kelly Slater looking for a 7-1-8. The go doing go things, blasting through.
Well, that's what you call the greatest surfer of all time.
Oh my goodness. G-O-A-T, baby. Wow. That's what we call, you know what we call that? We call that the bingo, bango, pico, mango.
Oh my goodness.
There's his family.
If you don't have chills watching this right now, turn the channel. Watch out, John Florence. Screenshot moment here. There's the capture. There's the poster for your wall. Iconic.
Insane.
Iconic.
Classic.
Come
right?
on.
It was dark inside that barrel.
And the hoots and hollers rising up for this wave. It is John Chianca. Where'd he go? He's out! John Chianca. You were right, Rosie. Don't count him out.
That is why I said I am not counting this guy out. I'm going to let this one play out because is that going to be our first 10? I don't know. How does that compare to what John did?
Hamilton needs a 7.84 to take the lead off of Carissa Moore. 10 minutes, 35 seconds in the priority heat. Gabriella Bryan and Bree Hennessy just getting started. Carissa Moore again at back door. Big roomy barrel traveling through here. Wow. And that's the completion. That is the excellent score that we were waiting for.
That's insane golf clap right here. I'm just psyched for her. That was so deep. That's 2 deep barrels in a row.
And I'm pretty happy just to be out there, you know, surf with the GOAT and hopefully get some good waves and be in the final.
All the best in the semis, Nikki.
Seth Moniz, backdoor, brilliant drop, gets under the hood, and he fires across the bow of a John Florence. That's the first wave in quarterfinal number 3, and Seth Moniz comes out swinging, Makua.
They are all just focused and fierce, looking out to the lineup as we see John take off in a deep wave.
Oh, there he goes.
That out, amazing.
Kelly's definitely a magician, and it also could be a little bit of defense, because if Kelly's 10 feet over, you don't want to just give the king a 10-point ride.
Well, we could see that right now. Kelly Slater driving super deep behind another chandelier. He comes out.
Wow.
Leave it to the GOAT, Kelly Slater. From a dungeon straight into the penthouse. That right there was a masterful read of an extremely difficult wave. It does feel like we're seeing kind of a reinvigorated and fully focused Kelly Slater. And he's at it again. Late drop, straight into the pit. He's coming out.
Wow.
That could be a 10. That had all the excitement, all the drama we wanted to see. Super late drop.
It's better than a
Incredibly
9.
technical.
That's better than the 9?
It's better than a 9. It
But
was a
drop.
crazy late drop. There was so much commitment for him to pull underneath that lip. You know, he could almost got axed.
And right behind him, Seth Moniz, hanging on by his toes. A massive backdoor wave.
Yes,
He comes
sir.
out. Now that is a controlled pullout. Seth Moniz.
Oh, this kickback for priority is going to be intense.
Just in time for Seth, too. Before the judges drop the score for Kelly, like, hey, hold the phone here before you drop those 10.
And now rolling in behind him, Connor O'Leary in the priority heat with Colapinto. The man from Cronulla turns under the lip, nice and safely, just to get down the line. Goes off the bottom, and a wild finishing move. Connor O'Leary hangs on. What an effort for Connor.
To put some pressure. Up and riding, Kaipo.
This is the opening ride for Matthew McGillivray. Big swooping top turn. Holds it off the bottom, carves back again. And one more time to the lip, and he is going to put up a challenge against Kelly Slater, who he's matched up against. The 24-year-old out of J-Bay is not intimidated at all by 11-time world champ. Jack Robbo with a long roundhouse cut back into the soup. Coming around the corner here, another rail arcing, putting some pressure on the fin, lip glide, airdrop, back to the bottom there. Jack Robinson answering back. What an exchange.
Hey, there's still opportunity with Ethan having priority in this minute and a half remaining. Here he goes. He's having a swing.
Needs a 7.94 for a spot in the quarterfinals. Ewing, big wrap to start. Hard off the bottom, belts it with a beautiful layback carve. Drives into the pocket again, a solid front side down carve hack. And he'll drill that end section. 3 massive maneuvers.
Kanoa, another beautiful wave this afternoon. Way overhead, double overhead, and a beautiful carve off the top. Makes his way through a warbly section, presses on the tail there. Comes around the corner again, pulls into the barrel, no problem for Igarashi. Completes the barrel, exclamation mark at the end of the ride. Well done.
Wow. Daniel Ross.
Daniel Ross was the other one. What a powerhouse he was at Sunset.
Wow, look at that.
Crazy takeoff with that wild breeze, but Courtney wanted every bit of that bomb drop. Quick whip onto the open face. She's got more. Huge bottom turn. And then a lovely top turn to clean up. One of the better performances we've seen. You're watching semifinal number 2. Brisa Hennessy representing Costa Rica taking on Betty Lou Sakuda Johnson representing Hawaii. Big start there with a big hammer from Brisa. Hard off the bottom again. A ton of spray flying off that rail. Out in the open face again, and what a start for Hennessy.
Almost looked like he hesitated, but up and riding.
Kanoe Igarashi, huge gaff, throwing tons of spray. Fades the bottom turn and into another frothy gash. This one a little late to the lip, and the convergence of water is going to make some difficult water, but Kanoe Igarashi, solid stance and goes complete on that. He battled for that finish.
The look in his eyes right there, I mean, that was exceptional to make it out of that last move.
John Florence representing Alex Florence for International Women's Day. His mother, that is an incredible surfer, snowboarder, skateboarder, free falling into the pit. Florence, wow, standing tall, making it look so easy, getting the ride of the day. Knowing that he can come back if he gets a shot. It might be decision time for Frederico with priority, but they're still out of position for the left. But meanwhile, Nat Young is in a cave. One more section, he comes flying out. Front side roundhouse complete for the Californian on a morning that has been absolutely perfect. 100% make rate for Nat Young this morning at Super Tubos.
Best wave so far in this heat.
Meanwhile, here goes Geordie, and he's deep as well. Gets a big pump in, completely disappears, and gets hosed out. He loves it. So a brilliant exchange there. A couple of clips on the end, but it's all about the tube here this morning. And another great ride from the South African veteran. So polished in a variety of conditions. Loves the tube. Such a natural performer.
Okay, so this is John going right. Big, perfect right-hand barrel. Wow, what a wave. cracks off the top right there to finish it off.
I guess you can't really train for this kind of stuff, Kaipo, right? You can't really simulate how you're going to be feeling when you're under pressure and you're against the wall. Meanwhile, let's stick with live here from deep. Here goes Griff with a ton of speed, massive air.
And what?
And he stomps it. That thing was huge. Cola Pinto with an absolute ton of speed, finding a beautiful looking section and going huge. And he looks like he's bringing it in.
Yeah, that was a great performance, and what an amazing moment for him. And here he is again.
Oh, dynamic opening turn, just digs that rail in. Powerful bottom to top turn combination. And a great bowl opening up in front of him. The wave of the heat for Kanoa Igarashi. And now setting up for this finishing section. Goes powerful on the tail. Is he going to ride out? Makes it out smooth. And really just showing that confidence of the yellow jersey. The rookies just took dominance over that veteran pack. It was kind of wild to see all 5 of them making it through. Tyler Wright now having a look in front of her, goes for the layback snap to start it off with. Great off the bottom top turn combination. Finding that style, that flow and grace as she comes through to this inside section. Cutting back and lining it up to go more vertical, to get that tail loose for a minute and have a straight stare back to the beach.
And the way he attacked that last ride, he's going to get close to the number. On the outside though, Florence with a big section. Big transition snap there. Climbs the roof. Great lip line float to project back out onto the open face. Now goes to that trademark layback that just possesses so much power. And he gives a couple of versions of that same turn. He was trying to up the ante on his previous ride, had a 7.5, didn't quite do it. That one will.
Here we go. He's going to fight back.
Well, he needs to, and this wave has to count. He has to go excellent with this one. Swings the tail around, needs the brake combination on this wave. Couple of big turns to start, huge layback. So much speed. Exiting that turn, he climbs up into the pocket one more time. He had to stuff that extra turn in. He's chasing huge numbers just to better himself. He came down the hard way too, didn't really find the transition he was looking for.
No, this is an amazing one. I mean, he saw Kolohe earlier, and he got sky high, and he had to wrestle it down, and yeah, he acknowledged that. That was a really difficult alley-oop to land. He had to land right in that bounce as the wave broke halfway down the face, and he's super stoked.
Yeah, it calls for the cab. And the numbers coming through, it's looking pretty solid. Really lofty. In fact, got to a point in that alley-oop where he was able to tweak that tail a little bit and just accentuated the height.
In the Toledo heat, that Morgan went, I've just got to push the envelope a bit harder. I've got to get above that lip line.
Well, let's see what Florence does here. First mission for him, get as much speed as possible before ripping into this big carve. Again, sets the rail so high in the face. Unbelievable. Back-footed jam on the second maneuver. So really did make the most of those 2 big sections on the outside. Now flowing through to the inside. This guy is desperate to even up this head-to-head record with Morgan. And I think he wants to teach him a lesson here.
Wow.
For what's to come, because it feels like she's still going to be chasing that big number as Tyler looks to get rid of the 6.33. Couple of big turns on the outside. There's that variation that Rich was touching on earlier on. The ability to swing that tail around. It's a real point of difference when everyone else is throwing carves to be able to drift those fins a little bit. Almost pushing aboard to the point of release a couple of times there as she rolls now through to the inside, climbs up into lip, sends a bit of spray up into the sky, and a nice floating move to finish there. That was right on the beach.
Philippe is a little bit more charismatic, a little bit more how Parko competed, really fun and energetic, as we see Phil paddling in this one.
Getting things started early, Toledo. Nice, clean swoop off the bottom. Steep section here, and he hammers the section. So swift in transition through that carve, and again leans on the rail hard. And he hammers it. Big layback. Great variation shown already. What a start for Toledo. Knows he needs to put the foot down. John Florence has come off the 2 highest scoring heats of the contest so far. And one of the highest scoring heats we've seen this season. And Toledo's not done with this one. If anyone's going to throw something big on the end section, it's this guy. It's a clean finish and a big way.
She's going to put even more pressure on Betty Lou. As we see here, up and riding, a replay of Tatiana slams that first section on the backhand, and again, just a critical turn for a second one. Does she get to the finish? Yes, she does. Hits the oncoming foam section, rides out. Watch the bricks. Whoa!
Onto dry reef.
Wow, you could see her there. Her board just literally stopped as she hit the reef.
Will she even have fins now?
Wow. You can just look, the plug got pulled. And that reef, totally, you can see there the board starts shattering. It's just a gnarly moment there, and we hope that Tatiana is okay. Obviously, we want to make sure she's okay first, and then we'll check the board. But you'd have to think that the fins have been graded down, and hopefully they're still in a board.
Molly's thinking at least make the final here. That would be her best result this season if she wants a chance to qualify to get to G-Land. Here comes Molly Picklum now. Big sweeping frontside hook. Exactly what Richie Lovett wanted to see. Jams it through the lip, and once again over the shallow section. She can't help but celebrate. One of the biggest power carves she's laid down this season.
If she represented there, and to represent Italy, Rome, his home. And now to match up against Ethan Ewing. Beautiful opening carve. Second big turn, and goes for that finish under the lip. And he's got some control to gain in the lineup.
Kind of opened the door for him to potentially hang on to a place. So we're waiting to see what unfolds in these last few heats of the day to get an idea of who is in and who's going to have work to do tomorrow. But here we go, Geordie Smith trying to get rid of a 6 at the moment to push the requirement higher for Zeke Lau. Big section there. And Geordie's just looking on today, wants the finish. Hanging on with all he's got. He's finished that one. He knows the importance of it. Just on the fact that that 7.17 could have potentially been in the 9s if he rode out of his final move. So he knows just how crucial it is.
Live action.
Here goes Florence. One of those beautiful big layback calves to get started. Big open face to deal with here. Again, winds through a big rail turn. Now setting up the inside. Hammers the section. And that's the start he was looking for. 25.5 minutes to go. Trying to put some pressure on Griffin Colapinto and get one back on Griff.
And Ewing's been working on being on the best waves of matchups. Looks like he's got a solid wall now. The Australian deep on this one. Now setting that bottom turn, going right to the lip. Beautiful frontside arc. Back to the open face. Big whip in the pocket. Punches the rebound. Nice and tight wrap, and finishes with a 4th maneuver. Can he ride away? Yes, he does.
Yeah, I mean, bring on the final.
Amazing. We'll let you go get ready for the final. It's a big one, and we can't wait to see it and watch it.
Cheers, Lozzie.
Thank you, Laura. Isabella Nichols. Great performance under pressure. And speaking of performing under pressure, John Florence had a slow start to this heat. He got back on track with his previous ride, a 6, and I think you would have seen it. And it looks like John is going to line this one up, and he'll try and get rid of this 6 again. Medium-sized wave, so expect him to go to town. High risk first turn. Busts the tail free and recovers beautifully, gets some speed, and then hammers the pocket once again and finds an end section. Not done with this one. Adds some extras, and this should easily get rid of the 6 and replace it with something better here. 7 minutes to go, and we're going to see a replay of this ride. Who set the pace early on with an 8.17 and found a 5.33 to back that up. Some movement here. Well, Ethan's got that priority, and a good-looking wall standing up. Draws off the bottom, straight into a beautiful hook, and drops back down the face, climbs back into the open water again. Goes to that rail and now looks to set up a huge finish. and absolutely drives a nail into the end section.
Bunch of surfboard factory manufacturing, a lot of pros and even bring surfboards. Like Kelly will have like 12 board made in Bali for him coming to Indonesia.
That's amazing to have those types of resources here in 2022. Big windup and a beautiful start for Colapinto. Big snap again. Nice, smooth, rhythmatic approach. Drifting it off the top. Patience paying off for the Californian. Driving into the lip line again. Colapinto's got more room to move. What an enjoyable pace. Big fans off the lip. Perfect surfing from Griffin. Still more left on the inside shelf. He'll slap it shut. And what a clean read. A series of epic backside turns right on the money. Yago Dora speeding down the line. Hopping over a big rock, goes upside down. Yago Dora pulls off one of the best punts of the year. Unbelievable. Upside down rotation from Yago Dora. Skipping over the rocks and pulling off the impossible. Colapinto, 8.5 as he's swinging into the picture now. Running after a 7.71. Colapinto attacks the top of that closeout section and rides away perfectly.
These guys just don't want to lose, Joe.
Italo Ferreira has to give way to Felipe Toledo, who executes on his priority. Little gaff off the beginning, looks for the ramp, alley-oop, it's a huge one and stomps it. No problem for Toledo. More amplitude, air reversal finish, and those are the combos that make Felipe Toledo so dangerous.
3.33 for Lastic Griff. Toledo needs a 4.39 on this wave to go right into first. He's got that stall. He wants to ramp up. Clear for takeoff. Full rotation. Seamless on the landing. Right into a wrapping cutback. Now Toledo ramping up again. Big section. Throw tail reverse complete.
Wow. For him to just sit and wait and know it's coming, that's solid. And obviously for him to perform like that is just bananas. I mean, he's unbelievable to watch. Let's see what Griff's got right here.
Big car for Griffin Colapinto. Nice clean wrap once again. Coiling up off the bottom. There's the snap to slide. More room on the inside for a frontside power carve. Jamming it off the oncoming section. A lot of variety for Griffin down the stretch. He will shut it down in the whitewater.
Caio activating. Pumping into the tube. Could have an exit. Driving and somehow, miraculously, comes out of nowhere. A Sakurama surprise from Caio Ebeli.
And then the speed, the power that he was able to do, especially that last move where he really punched it into the lip. He wasn't scared to put everything into it.
As he got a little chip into this section, backside full rotation for Sammy Pupo.
Watch out for this kid, man. I feel like he is.
Looks like there's some lumps coming. Let's see if this can turn into anything for Carissa Moore. One last chance. Looks like she's taking a paddle.
Carissa Moore looking for a 6.41. Has something to work with here. Big opening snap. And another.
Wow.
Hangs on. Carissa Moore, a rare claim from Arquette as she
brings a 10 as well to these heats. One more look here, Pete.
Just look at the timing where he uses that ramp. It's a solid overhead wave and just perfectly placed. Technique impeccable, no grab. Board stayed right, stuck to his feet. Looked like the whole time he was going to make that. Incredible. It really, truly is incredible. I don't know how he does it.
Looking for opportunities, and obviously as the more the heats go by, the better read they get on this swell. And in with an entry here, Dora. Then he'll swing one just over 7 to go in this. What's he got? We see him on a steep wall here. Off the bottom, bangs one. Nice and steep. Little drift in that turn as well. Again, hits it nice and hard. Really critical in the pocket. Judges want to see that. And it is a dynamic pocket, absolutely racing away. And he finds himself some cover. Gets in a real throaty tube. He'll go again here. Pulling in, grabbing the rail. Yago Dora streaking through a backhand barrel. Wow. Makes it out and goes floppy. Loves it. Meanwhile, Robinson, is he inside this? Is he coming out? He is. Jack Robinson is absolutely flying through a barrel here. Shut the front door. Jack Robinson points at the panel. He ain't done yet. Big, meaty carve down again. And just belting it for good measure one more time. How about that stuff from Jack Robinson?
Oh, my God.
And looking to bring all that energy into the later rounds. Meanwhile, out in the action right now, Samuel Pupo, hard carve from him, just tightens up that, puts himself back in the pocket to set up, little snap turn from him as he goes past Nat Young, just with an absolute ton of speed, and he'll look to pull in here, and he'll weave underneath a really nice section. Does well to negotiate at the bottom of the wave. It's not an easy place to maintain the speed and get a big throaty section for Pupo. Who'll come out of that. So a big double tube, and he absolutely loves it. We do too. I tell you what, there's more surfing on this wave. Another really nice snap with the release of the fins from Pupo, just tearing this wave apart. Brilliantly surfed wave from Samuel.
How can he not be featuring in one of your top favorite surfers to watch? I mean, Sammy Pupo. I love the kind of lean back claim as he like stalks back to after getting out of that barrel. I'm just loving the way that this guy surfs and the way that he's approaching competitive surfing too. He's keeping it refreshing and fun.
As we see now, Italo on the outside. Unbelievable backhand snap. I think one of the most high-risk turns that we've seen on that outside section yet. Just fell out of the sky and still has the momentum as he tucks into the tube. Will he come through this one? He's driving and he reappears, hangs onto it. On his way to a monster score, trying to get rid of an 8.17. And he knows it's good. There's the salute.
We've seen a little bit of that happen. Someone is deep inside the barrel and emerges to a massive roar from the home crowd support. Geordie Smith just pouring his way out of a barrel and then into the lip. Hits it nicely, gathering speed again. It's as ever powerful and smooth at the same time. Geordie Smith into the lip. Really nicely done.
Yeah, a little bit off kilter as we see Tati, second wave of the set, shaping up nicely.
Western Webb with a load of speed here. Look at this section for a hard off the bottom. Really nice whipping carve under the lip at speed again. Just dragging that tail and those fins through a really powerful motoring lip. And loads of whitewater here. She'll deal with it pretty well. Tatiana has gone a long way down the point here. She might get another section stand up here. Western Webb, another big turn for her. And she's in rhythm on this wave. She's really centered on that board and does really good work. So going close to the excellent range of the first couple of numbers. And
there's someone at the keyhole waiting with a board and a leash. So, yeah, he's stopped running now, so we'll see what happens. It's just, there's a big set coming right now, so I think he's just taking his time. He's realising that he can't jump on the rocks right now and go. As we see Italo on a big one on the outside.
Oh, big turn off the top too for the Brazilian. As he glides through a transition hit here, now looking just really to size up a big finish on this ride. And he is trying to chase down this score.
Here's the double up.
7.93. This thing's doubling up now as Italo climbs up into the pocket again, bashes it, falls out of the sky. And again, goes to the lip, and he hangs onto it, and there is the double fist pump. And that's exactly what he needed, a couple of big sections. World champ Pete Mel and the 11-time world champion Kelly Slater. And we're going to see Ethan Ewing get things started first here, having some kind of year, but still chasing that elusive first championship tour win. You'd have to like his chances here at Jeffreys Bay. He's got a nice clean wall standing up here. Big hook off the top. Nice power and acceleration out of that turn as he goes now to the layback jam on his way to a very solid start here in the semis. And the conditions only improving here on finals day as Ethan takes this one way down the line. And it looks like it's going to line up for a bit more on this final section too as he drives up into the lip and hangs on to the finish. Kelly Slater, that was impressive.
That's such good surfing.
There we go. That's what we love. Yeah, it's packed end to end here watching the finals, and that's what we like. We love a passionate crowd.
Yeah, the Groms, as we'll pick up youthful exuberance from Tatiana Western Webb, swinging on a bomb. There's that bottom turn she holds for so long and hits it hard off the top. Look at this section for Tati. Massive hammer. Airdrop to finish as well. An explosion at whitewater.
if I look at the lineup of surfers in this event, I would say that Nathan Hedge would be by far the, oh, look at this.
Deep one here, setting up for Jack Robinson. This is what we came to Tahiti for. Jack gets a bomb.
Tahiti pro here at Te Aupo'o. A miracle of the surf world. Another heat number 6 in the water. And it is Kylie Belly scratching into this one, pulling into a big, thick cavern. Where is he, Belly? And he exits.
Yes. Well, last night's surf really helped him out because he got a wave just like that. And now, first wave of this heat, he finds himself a massive score.
So I need to change my surfing? Or
yeah, I mean, that's what...
As we look at Jadson on a big section.
Oh, wow.
Now what do you do?
Room to move in
See,
that
now
one.
they got to compare Jadson's first one and an air over the sled.
Next one's going upside down and trying to control one of the most radical takeoffs of the day. McGillivray pulls off the impossible.
Oh, my. Oh, wow. And look, all of his friends just are losing it. I do not understand how he hung on to that, Joe. That was just wild stuff. He seemed sick.
Kelly asking about Maddie's 10-point ride. As we look at Griffin Colapinto, big lunge into the first section, super deep Colapinto into the sunshine in Tahiti. What a great time to be watching this event.
But look at this.
Oh, this happened during the break with Slater.
A bomb and just such an intense wave. And look at the scores that have been posted. A 9-point ride as he high-fives, but look at this thing, or 9.0. As you see, look at this. Underneath, beautifully done by Kelly Slater. Late drop, everything there, in line, and you said it, just as going out there, frothing out of his skin because he wanted to do this exact moment.
11-time world champ, 5-time champ in Tahiti. We get to see the poetry, the terrifying beauty that is Te Aupo'o and the approach with Kelly Slater. Under a thick cavern and the spit where he exits.
You see how he used his butt. He tapped it as he was dropping in there just to slow him down ever so slightly.
Kelly Slater moving on into the quarterfinals. Jack Robinson now in the priority situation, striking. Oh, high line, yanks up on the rail. Exit for Jack Robinson right on the hooter as the priority heat ended and Jack Robbo's heat went into the priority heat.
Unbelievable. Did you see how high he got? That was definitely, he was like his board was vertical in the face and somehow able to ride over the top of the foam ball and get himself through that one.
The silver medalist in the Olympic Games is now setting up a potential strike to try to get the 7.41. Kanoa grabs the rail, lunges into the first section. It's staying wide open.
Wow.
Igarashi stands tall for the exit and lets some of the emotion out with 2 minutes to go. Te Aupo'o comes to life from the channel, but Pupo's on a bigger one. Over the foam ball, Miguel comes out into the channel.